What does faith look like? For many of us, we would say, well, it's the doctrine of the church. Or somebody might pull out the law of Moses, or somebody might pull out canon law. Or somebody might pull out a system of beliefs. What does faith look like? Sometimes we say, it's being saved. And we ask people all the time, are you saved? What does faith look like? Today in the gospel, I think Jesus gives us a hint if we listen to the words that we experience. Listen to those words. Weeping, anointing, wiping away tears, healed, renewed, made whole, living without revenge. All words that reflect a living faith, not a faith contained in some book. Jesus asked Simon, do you see this woman? Do you see her? Do you see her about her past reputation? Do you see her in her past brokenness and emptiness? Do you see her as wearing a scarlet A on her forehead? And so Jesus reminds us that when we listen to that gospel, how do we see others? Who is the person behind the label, or the many labels that sometimes we use to describe people that we know, or people that we don't know? The unnamed people that we spoke about last week. The ordinary people who somehow we're so readily and it's so easy to put labels on. Does mercy and compassion as a community here and forgiveness trump prejudice? Does care for those who have squandered their future trump forgiveness? After all, the woman in the gospel today stretches all of those labels, stretches all of the prejudice, the judgments, and those proper places where we should all be sitting. In fact, she interrupts what is considered normal. She breaks into the house, sits down where only men are welcome, and she does what is unheard of. She touches the feet of a prophet. A sinner touches the feet of a holy man. Wow. Someone says we seldom see things as they are. We see things the way we are. Maybe what Jesus is trying to tell Simon and all of us is that we're all sinners. Sometimes we're very hard-hearted, aren't we? We even deny the power of God's love. Maybe to touch someone who we have put a label on. If we are called as Christians, and we are called to live as Christians and a Christian way of life, then our identity has to be with God. So what does faith look like? Faith looks like God embracing all people. God says there's no time left in this universe for judgment because all are forgiven. Therefore, we are all free to love if we are all forgiven. And Jesus teaches us then about a very different God. I think in the real world, we've experienced that maybe in two ways. If you remember John Paul II, when he walked into the prison and forgave the man who tried to assassinate him. Justice or forgiveness? Or I think of the 10 Amish girls who were shot and the 5 who died. And the families came together to forgive the one who killed those 10 little girls. Justice or forgiveness? An eye for an eye or forgiveness and compassion and mercy? The one we choose really depends on what, for our lives, faith looks like. God bless you.